Hi everybody, and welcome to Bark at the Moon video blog number 18. This week we're going to talk about some suburban hunting situations. It's no secret that we've been plagued with massive snow in the last few weeks. So much so that I didn't even bother trying to get out and hunt. Now, we had about 12 to 14 inches on the ground in some areas, and to be honest with you, the cold temperatures, it really didn't go away that much. And it's not so much the snowpack across the fields, although that's no bargain, it's the snow plows that build up, huge piles along the roadside. You simply can't park your car, and that's the big drawback for me. I hate snow. 1 inch is all that's ever needed. Anything beyond that turns into a nuisance. So we didn't have a few blogs there for a week or two, and that's because there was no hunting. In fact, I've only hunted once in the last couple weeks, and that was last night. I went out with my buddy Steve to some local spots, I would say within a 5-mile radius of our houses here in our hometown. And to be honest with you, there was no tracks. It was terrible. I told Steve, we got to find some snowmobile trails. Well, there weren't any. It was just bad luck. We went to through 3 or 4 farms and saw nothing. We were calling it a night at about 10 o'clock. We were sitting in my car just talking, and Steve says, hey, look at that. There's 2 critters chasing each other across the field. Well, I looked out through the salt on my windshield, and I saw one of them. And I looked over to Steve, and I said, we really should go try to set up on these. And that's what we did. The area was neat because it's frequently used by dogs and residents walking their dogs in this area. So there was no deep snowpack. It was almost like walking on cement. It was hard pack. We went in, and we had a great suburban hunt that I'll talk about in a little bit. So we're going to talk about some tips for suburban hunting here, and then we'll look at our hunt from last night.
Here are some suburban hunting tips. Number 1, know your game laws. You don't want to get into any trouble out there, so follow all laws regarding where you can hunt. It might be helpful to build a rapport with local law enforcement so they know you're out there predator calling. Another tip is to hunt later at night. Let the residents and their pets retire for the evening. This usually means go hunting after 11 o'clock at night. A third tip is to use thermal or night vision gear when possible. This type of gear allows you to hunt in a more stealth-like fashion. Speaking of stealth, in some areas, I like to use subtle distress sounds as they are less likely to be heard by neighboring dogs and even landowners who might be out in the evening. Now, if you do have to use lights for scanning, use extra caution. When cars pass by, turn your light off. Even if you're doing nothing wrong, there's no sense in drawing attention to yourself. Also, be careful of where you're aiming that powerful LED light beam. If it aims at a house, the resident is likely to notice it. Now, let's talk about guns. Do you really need to tone down the caliber of your rifle? I say no. My surveys with landowners tell me they never hear me shoot.
Let's talk about last night's hunt. We turned a terrible night into a terrific night in just a matter of moments. And here's how it happened. As mentioned, it was Steve who spotted those critters going across the snow. We made the decision, let's go call them, set up on them. So we did. The wind was favorable. We walked probably 300 yards across some soccer fields, as it turned out, and put the call out and played baby Cottontail. First critter showed up within a minute, and that was a coyote, and we took a nice successful shot at about 120 yards. You'll see that go down. I said, let's keep calling. Well, here comes a red fox right down the lane, right to us real close, like 30 yards, and nailed that too. So it was a mixed bag double, suburban hunting at its finest. Let's check out that footage.
Dad.
Some guys have all the
It's a great idea to keep a kid's snow sled in the back of your truck. It sure makes hauling the critters easy. Well, let's see if we can call something in here. We got the fusion working today. KG Cottontail. I've been seeing a coyote on my trail cam down in that corner every morning and every night. So despite the 4 degrees, I figured I'd come out here. We'll see what happens. Well, good morning, everybody. It's about 4 degrees outside. I told the fellas yesterday at the New York State Sportsman Show that I was going to go old school this morning. No filming, no digital scopes. I took my Fox Pro Fusion out of retirement and set up here in a big field. I'll show it to you. After about 2 minutes, a KG Cottontail, a coyote came across, and I nailed him with this Howa 1500 and 223. There's no video of it, but it was an awesome hunt. Let's go check him out. Okay, folks, here it is. It's a dandy. It's sort of orange creamsicle color. The lighting's off right now, but I'll get good pics in a minute. I'm about a mile away from my truck, and there's no way I was going to lug this coyote through 10 inches of snow. So I went back to the car, got a sled. You might as well be smart about things while doing this, folks. Well, here we go. Mile-long walk, but it's worth it. It's freezing out here, but I'm sweating profusely. But I'll take that any morning.